am sitting in front of our newest project that we're going to be working on today. We were able to pick up this little Power Wheels car that someone was throwing away. The battery's dead in it, and they said it worked up until they lost the charger and the battery died, and they were just going to throw it away. They weren't using it anymore. So we're going to replace the battery with something with a bit of an upgrade. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to pull out the old battery. We don't need it anymore, but we do need the wires. So we're going to cut off the part that used to hook into the old battery and strip out the ends of the existing wires. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put in a fuse connecting wire. This is mainly just to protect the engine from any problems that maybe you would do with wiring, foreshadowing, or the battery just being too powerful for the system and overloading it, which is a good thing because that's actually what we did end up doing later on. Once we had those wires in, it was time to pull out the area where the old battery went and clean it up a little bit in there so that we could put the new stuff in place for the new battery. The piece I'm putting in right now is actually an adapter that will allow me to plug in my DeWalt drill battery into the car. We already have these for the power tools, and Little Man and I both have some DeWalt batteries for our tools, so we have several of those around and several chargers, so it'll make this nice to be able to have batteries available and charged pretty much anytime we need them. Now it's time to test. Well, that was not the roaring success I hoped it would be, but it was at least a minor success. The power wheel did work with the fuses for about 2 minutes, and then it would burn the fuses up. So there is a regulator that you can also get that can help with that, hopefully. So I need to get back online and get that and put that in. Hopefully that will help fix that so we don't burn up any more fuses, and we can go ahead and use this cart. Okay, so this is the final product of the wiring job. We've got this device here. I'll put a link to it in the description of the video, which is what the battery hooks into. And we have a black wire and a red wire coming out of it. This does not come with any paperwork to show you line side, load side, anything like that. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this here in just a second. I also have this, which is the speed regulator, and I can control the amount of juice coming out from the battery into the motor. Whenever we put Little Man on here to start with, he kind of just took off right away. He's never really had much experience driving anything like this, and immediately was just like tearing into stuff that I didn't necessarily want him to. So wanted to put this on here. If Little Man, who's the oldest, had a hard time controlling it, I didn't want to see what kind of trouble the other kids were going to have. So this is going to be on here to help regulate the speed that everything goes in. Now, we have a hot and we have a neutral coming out of the vehicle. Whatever it is, it's not really a vehicle, sort of a vehicle. Anyway, we have a positive and we have a negative coming out of the vehicle. And then on this, you have a spot where you have positive and negative input and positive and negative to motor. The motor, obviously, going into the vehicle, goes on the motor side, and the other side is going to have the side that goes to the battery. So, I discovered, after going through several fuses, that the black wire actually needs to go to the negative and the red wire needs to go to the positive. I was continuously blowing fuses and I didn't understand why. I went through a couple fuses on these, went through, there's a fuse inside here. I blew it a couple times and I was like, I cannot understand what is going on. I'm gonna switch these just for the fun of it and see if that makes a difference. And everything immediately started working properly when I did that. So yeah, so this is your positive, the black one is your negative on this. So yeah, and there's nothing on here that says that anywhere. And there was no paperwork that came with it. So if you get this one, now you know. And hopefully you won't end up having to buy a bunch of extra fuses like I did. So there we have it. It's all wired up and I've tested to make sure this works. It works great. And we'll get some video of the kids trying it out and let you see how that goes. One more thing I'm gonna do real quick. I'm gonna put a piece of wood on the back side of here and I'm going to mount these things to here to provide them a way to not be sitting down in here and just kind of keep them up out of the way, things a little more tidy, a little more secure. So one more thing that I'm gonna do, then we will take it for a test run. All right, here we go. All mounted and good to go. All right, on this chilly afternoon, the next thing we're doing to the car, now that we have the battery all hooked in, the fuses all ready to go and straightened out, now we're gonna add a hitch so that we can pull the little trailer that the kids like to pull around, particularly little man likes to pull around behind usually he just carries it around. So now we're gonna stick actually it behind this little cart and give him the opportunity to be able to pull some stuff around the yard with the little wagon thing. Okay, so what we've done is we pulled the whole back off. Giggles is climbing in there. And in this area right here, it is completely nothing involved right there. So we're gonna put a piece of wood here. We're gonna drill some holes through and put a U-clamp. So you can grab it. Put a U-clamp through and make this what he can hook his little wagon to. Please be sure to hit that thumbs up if you liked our video, subscribe, and share to anyone else you think might enjoy it. Also, be sure to check out our Patreon page for other ways that you might be able to help support our family. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.
Bye. See you later, people.
Cut.